Hi, we're going to do homework 8, chapter 10. Big thing on this is it's 20 points and you have to show work on the back or another piece of paper for full credit. Okay, so here we go. We have a shape, and again, the reason for this is later on in class, we want to be able to turn this into a proof question. So here's our problem. You wouldn't necessarily have to type that. This is going to help me going back and forth. So question number 1. This y would have to be equal to 143 because, and again, you don't have to fill this in. If you know it, you can fill it in, but if you don't, just leave it blank and we'll fill it in class. And then we also know that this angle, so if I numbered these, angle 1, angle 2, angle 3, these two angles, angle 1 and angle 2, have to add up to 180 because, right? So angle 1 is x, right? And angle 2 is 143, and that has to equal 180. So there's a reason there. So every step, as you show your work on this other piece of paper, that's really what we want to be able to do. So if you try to do it on here, it's too hard to then have room to show it on there. So that's the main point while we're doing the work on another piece of paper. Okay, and then you probably got your answer. X is equal to, let's see what that would be. $37. Okay. And there's a reason there. Okay, so those reasons we can do later in class, but again, I want your work to be on another piece of paper so we have room to do that. Okay, next question. I won't redraw this one, but okay, so that's y, that's 72. So y has to be equal to 72 because sum theorem. Okay, y is equal to 72. This one's pretty similar. So it looks like angle 1 plus, let's call this one angle 1 and that one angle 2. You can call them pretty much anything you want. Those two angles have to add up to 180 because, we'll fill that in. Let's see, angle 1 we said was x. Angle 2 we said was 72. That's a reason there, right? And then I think x here would equal 108. So y is equal to that, x is equal to that. And in class, not really, this is your homework, is to answer the question. Excuse me. And then we'll fill in these blanks together in class. But feel free to put them in there if you want. Okay, so question 3, we have x and 111 are across from each other, y is over here. So it looks like x has to equal 111 because you're across from each other. You know, there's a reason there. And then it looks like if we called this one angle 1 and that one angle 2, right? But then I would just have x in terms of y. So I think I should call this one angle 1 and that one angle 2. So if that one's y and that one's 111, that one's angle 1 and angle 2, they should add up to 180. There's a reason there. If our first angle is y and the next angle is 111, we know because they're consecutive. Yeah, there's some reason there. Okay? So we get y is 69. Okay, and there's a reason there. Pretty straightforward. Okay, question 4. I don't know what number that is. So if you think it's at 87, we'll go with 87. So x must be equal to 87. And you should know, we'll find out y in class, or we'll remind ourselves. And then we'll call that angle 1 and angle 2. So angle 1 and angle 2 are consecutive, right? This one and then this one. So we know those have to add up to 180. And 87 is the one I called angle 1, and y is the one I called angle 2. So we're thinking y is equal to, pretty straightforward here. Okay. Y. 5. So there must be a reason here, but x plus 11, I think most of you would think that these have to be equal to each other, right? Some reasoning there. And then I think most of you would have probably done something that looks like that. Maybe a step goes in the middle of there, but you'd get to something that looks like that. Maybe something that looks like this. And then that. So our challenge here, though, is we've definitely solved for x, but it's a little bit more complicated than that because you see on this question, I got to plug it back in, right, to just make sure that I didn't make any mistakes. Okay, so that we should definitely do. So here, again, this is x plus 11, and this is 3x minus 7. So when I look at this, if I do believe that that's 9, then this angle up here would be that angle. I guess I could call that angle 1, 2, 3. So I'll call that angle 1. Angle 1 is x plus 11, but if we know x is 9, that would be, we're trying to say angle 1 is 20. And here, 1, 2, 3, maybe we'd call that angle 3. So this third angle would be equal to 3x minus 7. But if that's 9, you have 3 times 9 minus 7. So that's 27 minus 7. That would be 20. Oh, okay. Bam. So we now know that this is correct. And we'll talk in class about those reasons. Okay, number 6. Angle 1, angle 2. Angle 1, angle 2. It definitely feels like I got an angle 1 plus an angle 2 has to equal 180. Why? Right? Then I think you would hopefully get something maybe like this comes next. And maybe this. Maybe that. And it's set on there that I might get a decimal, and that if I do, I'm going to round to the 10th. So I'm worried a little bit that maybe I copied it over wrong, or maybe I made a little math mistake. But this is what I got so far. So you're in luck. You have a way of double checking your answer. So we can plug this back in. If the first angle, 1, is 9x minus 8. So if the first angle is 9x minus 8. And x is that. We can figure out what we get. Okay, so I get 132.4. And then angle 2 we had was x plus 32. So let's see, 15, something's wrong. But maybe not, right? Maybe you're thinking, wait, those aren't the same, right? Those are different numbers. But wait a minute. These are consecutive. One's big, one's little. They're supposed to be different numbers. You're not checking to see if they're the same number. You're checking to see if they add up to 180. So let's double check that. 132.4 plus 47.6. Yep. Now you've double checked that problem. Check out the next video for questions 9. Well, actually, let's see if we can fit them on here. It'd be great to just have one video for the first time in a long while. Question 7, it looks like they're adjacent, right? So we got angle 1 and angle 2 has to add up to 180. 3x plus 7, 9x plus 5. Leave some space for our reasons. If I double check this, angle 1, we got 3x plus 7. If we plug in a 14 there, and then a 9x plus 5, right? Oops, they don't equal each other, but remember, they're not supposed to equal each other. So when I add them up, yep, 49 plus 131 is a 180. Okay, I'm going to start the next one. I don't have time to finish it, but I think if you know what's happening here, you don't need me to finish it. These both look obtuse, so I'm going to set them equal to each other. Angle 1 is equal to angle 3. Go from there. See you next time.